Hello geeks and gamers, Matt Lemke here with Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com, and today we have another figure forge for you. This figure forge I'm going to go ahead and dedicate to Casey Clark for his involvement in my Kickstarter last year. He is a Dropzone Commander fan. We have talked about it a few times, so this is definitely one that he wants to watch or be a part of. He might already have put this model together. About a year ago at Origins, I managed to get a copy of this model, and the guys from Hawk War Games, I told them I could probably put it together in 20 minutes or so, and I said, if you can do it in under 45 minutes, that's pretty amazing. There's not that many pieces, so I don't think it's going to be that difficult, so let's see if I'm up to the challenge. This is the Ferrum class dropship. It's pretty simple. Some of the things I'm not going to glue until I kind of know how I want them to look. For example, the treads that go on the bottom. This piece just can go in here loose. I'm not sure. I haven't actually read the rules for playing the game yet. I'm still putting together starter armies and things. I'm not sure if that piece is important for coming off and on yet or not, so I'm going to leave it that way for now. But as you can see, there's not much gluing there. And this piece here for the back treads, I may not take that out. You know, it's just going to sit there pretty much like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take both those pieces off and set them aside. There are a couple of things here to note. These little ships, they pretty much just, they go on a stick. And basically, you glue them into their bases so they can fly around. That's another thing that I'm not going to do in this video. There was a time when I really kind of wanted to do this and make them levitate, put opposed magnets in them, but they don't fit in there the way I would kind of wanted them to. So I'm not sure as to how to do that. This piece goes in here like this. It's designed to be slid up and down. This groove here, nope, not there. This groove here is its guide, so making this piece fit appropriately is important. And you don't want to get glue all over the place, because by doing so you're going to mess up your model and it won't be able to go up or down. And this piece does just kind of slides in there and sits pretty tight in the bottom like that. And when we get into the gluing of it, we'll zoom in. Both these missile pods, they go here to the sides, and knowing all of this ahead of time is pretty important. And this is actually what's going to be one of the trickier parts too, because this model has a lot of moving parts. You're not going to want to get glue in that little hole. You're not going to want to get glue in that little hole, but you got to get the glue here on this edge. Not so much here, but here. In fact, that's the first piece I'm going to glue. I'm going to do it right now. And for sake of my sanity, I am going to try and keep... I've got too much glue in there, so I'm going to take a bunch of it and wipe it out, because I don't want it all in there. I'm going to keep this as flush as I can to the top. Or I should say as level. It probably doesn't matter that much, because you can see the hole is clearly beyond the gap that it needs to be. And then I'm going to move here, and I'm going to come to the back side, and I'm going to slide this in again. Hold it up there so you can see. And you want it about there. Push it down a little bit more as it's a little flush. I'm going to put the glue along the bottom corner here, like this, and here. Spread it out a little bit with the tip. Spread that in there. Put just a tiny drop there. Spread it out with that. I'm going to put this in here. And I'm going to change the way I'm holding it to that. You're not going to be able to see it, but I think, again, that's the important part, because you want this to be able to maintain its up and down momentum. Now, if you want, you can actually drill and pin this piece so that it's hinged at the bottom. And you can control the up and down that way by pulling this piece out a little bit, pulling this back, and leaving it so it goes in and out a little bit back. I am not going to do that, however, because I want to put it together the right way, the way it was originally intended, I should say. I have found that a lot of times when you assemble models, there's no right and wrong way. And now what I'm going to do is, while this is up, I'm going to put a real small bead of glue right here. To hold that spot. I'm going to pull this up just a hair so it's on the top there and it's not going to fall down as much. I'm going to put a drop of glue in here. Glue one of these rocket launchers on. I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to put it on the male end of the model. And I'm also going to make sure that it's not twisted in such a way that I can't close the gate, which I'll show you in a second. I didn't show you that before. Now these would be good pieces to magnetize right here. Like if I do this, I'm probably not going to be able to close the launch pad. So I'm going to do that, just like that. Leave that sit there. I'm going to grab the launch pad real quick so you can see what I'm referring to. I almost need to set this down and let it dry. A lot of times I use Zip Kicker when I do these videos to save time. This is not a model that I'm going to risk that with, because so much can go wrong with Zip Kicker. Now this piece is going to come in here like that. Now this piece has a burr on it. I'm going to go ahead and remove that burr a little bit. With a little dental pick that I picked up on eBay. These things are great. One of my favorite tools. And you'll see that when if and when I ever get into sculpting. Now this is a drawbridge type gate, which when done right will come back and be closed like that, which I only have half of it on, so clearly I can't, oh come on, I can't do that yet. And because I started the missile launcher, I need to let it dry. I need to let it finish, which we're 9 minutes in. And we're going to do the hard part. The hard part is going to be this one. not getting enough, so much glue on it. Heck with the missile launcher, I'm going to do that in a minute. Not getting so much glue on it that you glue it shut. And one of the keys to that is going to be to wipe it off, all the excess. Put this side on, slide that in there, come back here, slide that in there. And now I am going to do that while it's drying. Try not to glue my finger to it. Spin it down just a little bit. Move it out just a hair. And test it. Just keep testing it a little bit. I don't want it too tight because it's starting to bind there. I probably should have had this side up a little bit. So what I'm going to have to do is do a little bit of scraping while I'm assembling the model here. Maybe a little bit right now too while I'm holding it and letting it dry. See, I got a little bit of a binding there. There's only one way to fix that, and that's going to be with a knife by scraping some of it off. And I'm actually using a scalpel. When you do this at home, remember it's a hinge. So what you're going to want to do is have a little bit of a gap when you put these two pieces on. You want this to have a gap right there. There's no gap. See how there's no gap on mine? Now I got to wrestle with it a little bit. It's not too hard to do this though because of, well, one, this blade is really sharp. And snug is okay. That's snug. It's working a lot better than it was. And you can come here like this and do a little bit to the top. Scrape some of that off. Again, be very careful. I'm going to hit this piece a little bit. I haven't been hitting that one at all. But as you can see, I've got that part working. It moves. This part moves. A little bit of Vaseline and they'll make it go up and down much faster and easier, but it won't stay up. So we're going to do that. Now, this piece here has been an enigma to me. I'm not totally sure if that's supposed to get glued in there or not. So until I get a good answer, and I'm going to post this in the forums probably, as to whether or not it should be glued in, this is how it's going to stay. I mean, it's almost a snug fit. I know it's the elevator. What I don't know is if it's supposed to get glued into place. And mine seems to be narrow enough that it just keeps falling down. So now we're going to go back to the rocket launchers, and we're going to glue them in both sides real quick. Now, these would have been real easy to pin. In fact, oh no, it's a little late to do that. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. If I would have pinned them, I would have been able to leave them alone and I'd be done already. Because they'd have a good anchor point. And I'm going to put the bottoms on here. This guy goes in there. I have never seen a picture with it off the bottom. I am probably at some point in time going to play around with this a little bit more and magnetize the back so I can make it rotate. The front is a pretty tight fit. At this point, I'm not going to magnetize the back of it. Again, like I said, I don't know if this should come off or on. It looks like it is pretty plain inside, so it wouldn't hurt me if I glued that, I'm sure. But I can do that at a later date. It'll only take a few seconds and some drying time, and I just knocked off one of my rockets because I'm being silly. In fact, to show you how easy these ships are, they go in the bases that are slightly here. They go like this. You slide that in there. Goes like that. And the ferrums go on the top. Now, they're so small, again, you don't need to. I mean, I'm the type of player that will maybe glue the sticks on the bottom and leave these so they can come off and on. Like I said, they're light, they're pretty simple, and if and when I ever wear down the peg, I'll use sticky tack in that hole and put it on there to fly it around the table because that is so light. So, in 17 minutes, you have the Ferrum fully assembled, well, mostly fully assembled, so that it goes up and down. The launch pad works. And you have all the ships that basically all you have to do is clean up, put the little pegs on. I'm probably going to cut some of these in half so that they're at different heights. And I found the best way to put them on is to put them into the base and shove them down. I learned that with Legos. But there you have it. Ferrum class dropship. Well, there's an idea. With some ships. In 19 minutes. Thanks for watching. This has been a Figure Forge with Matt Lemke through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Real soon we're going to start our Kickstarter on Season 3. Season 3. Wow, my bad. Season 4. I'm a year behind. Oh, no wonder. I'd love you to subscribe if there's any models you would like us to do that you've had problems with and getting ready to do another one and you think we'd be of service to you. Please let us know. I'll be happy to get my hands on it as fast as I can and do a Figure Forge on it for you. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Any questions about any of these games, let me know and I'll do my best to find out the answers.